All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our amazing luxury consultants and around the world. Happy Father's Day to all daddies here on the call. Thank you so much for taking your time and participating in this amazing webinar at this very special day. My name is Sherry Zhao, and I'm very excited to be your host, and it is my privilege to introduce you our trainer of the night, Mr. Leo Scaler. Leo is known for helping people make the right decisions, and he's passionate about making a difference in people's lives, has a skilled and in helping people understand the global wealth trade opportunity in a very simple way. With the past 4 years of experience in the direct sales industry, actually all of them with global wealth trade, he has mastered and simplified the art of being paid to wear beautiful designer products. He's our 2011 President's Cup winner, a shareholder and diamond ambassador, and a top earner. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Leo Scaler. Do we have you on the call with us?
Absolutely you do. How you doing, Sherry?
Very good, very good. So the call is all yours. Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for those nice words. And good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Leo Scaler, President's Cup winner, Diamond Ambassador, Supernatal Commander with Global Wealth Trade, the world's fastest growing designer fashion house. And I'm very happy to be here on a Sunday night. First of all, a happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are on the call, all the fathers in GWT, and all the fathers from around the world. I know it's a very special day, and if you are a father on the call, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on the call with us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fantastic because tonight I am going to be speaking about helping people make the right decisions, okay? And we all know that after taking a look at the global wealth trade opportunity, people have a few decisions to make. You know, they can make the wrong decision, or they can get started with GWT, and obviously that's the right decision. And, you know, we want to help them to make the right decision because we understand what the value of the company is for them and what it's going to do for their life. And sometimes people take a look at the opportunity and they can't really see what we see. And so, you know, I put this training together because over the 4 years that I've been with this company, I've been able to speak to many, many people. I've been able to understand what people want, what people are looking for, how people think sometimes. And, you know, I wanted to make sure that everybody on this call has the same opportunity to be able to understand people with maybe not as much experience. Maybe if you just got started, you may be curious, well, what do I say to people? What are people thinking when they see the opportunity? How do I respond to questions? And that's exactly what I wanted to put this training together for, is for not only some of the people who may have gotten started with global wealth trade recently, and if you did, welcome on board. You made a great decision. But also for maybe some people who have been with the company for a while who also may be curious, well, you know, what are people thinking, and what are some different answers that maybe I haven't thought of before, and what are some different ways that I can go about approaching people to speak to them about the opportunity when they have questions after seeing the tour. So that's why I put this call together. And I'm very excited, and I know you're going to be very excited. It's going to be a fun call. So we're going to get right into it here. Now, some famous quotes on the power of making decisions, okay? Decision-making is one of the most powerful skills that anybody may have in any area of life, you know. And I'll play some of these quotes for you here. I'll show them to you on the screen, and you're going to see what some of the top people in different industries in the world have to say about decision making. So Lee Iacocca says, more money is lost every day in America due to indecision than bad decisions. Okay, it's much better to make a bad decision than to not make a decision at all, because at least with a bad decision, it's a learning experience. There's something that you can take away from it, as opposed to not making a decision and then you don't learn anything. So Lee Iacocca definitely had it bang on with that quote. We also have Mr. Jim Rohn, personal development expert, the late Jim Rohn, fantastic, fantastic individual. If you go on YouTube, you'll find a lot of his videos. He's very motivating and inspirational. I make sure to listen to Jim all the time. And Jim Rohn says it doesn't matter what side of the fence you get off on sometimes. What matters most is getting off. You cannot make progress without making decisions, okay? So all progress depends on people who make decisions, all right? And then after Jim Rohn, we have Peter Drucker, who's an entrepreneur specialist, actually. You know I used to study him all the time back in university in Canada. And Peter Drucker, he teaches people on starting their own small businesses and entrepreneurship. And Peter Drucker says, whenever you see a successful business, someone once made a courageous decision. Absolutely. You have to make courageous decisions in order to be successful in business, okay? So Peter Drucker definitely knows what he's talking about. And then we have what I like to call the father or the godfather of personal development, Mr. Napoleon Hill. Since it's Father's Day, he definitely deserves the title of the godfather of personal development. And he says, indecision is the seedling of fear, okay? So fear spawns indecision, right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about fear and indecision a little bit later. And then we have somebody who says the best decision you can make in your life is to join GWT. Oh, wait, that's me. Absolutely. So I don't know how that got in there, but hey, you know, I don't think anybody on this call is going to argue with me, but that's definitely the best decision you can make is to get started with GWT. So moving on, we have Ralph Waldo Emerson, who says, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. You know, some people believe in God, some people believe in spirituality, some people believe in the universe. Regardless what you believe in, as soon as you make a decision, there's all sorts of different powers in the world that conspire to make your decision happen, okay, or to make what you want happen. So that was a very good quote. And Mr. Anthony Robbins, another one of the personal development heroes in the world, says, using the power of decision gives you the capacity to get past any excuse, to change any and every part of your life in an instant. And the most important part of that quote is in an instant, because sometimes you may find that your life is going in a certain direction and you may be getting a little restless because it's not going in the direction that you want it to go, and then you make a decision to do something different than what you were doing. And as soon as you make that decision, in that moment that you made the decision, automatically your life just altered. Okay, that instant that you made a decision to do something different than the road that you were traveling on, your life has changed. And regardless which road you are now going on, you're going to be learning something from it, whether it was a good decision or a bad decision. Remember, more money is lost every day, like Lee Iacocca says, due to indecision than bad decisions. So even if you make a bad decision, your life is going to change because there's something that you've learned in that moment. And if it's a good decision, well, obviously you're going to be very, very happy. So these are some great quotes from some top people in their professions regarding why it's so important to make decisions, okay? Now, I want to ask everybody here on the call a question, okay? And I know that after showing somebody the Global Wealth Trade opportunity, you might ask them, so what did you find the most interesting? And after you ask them, what did you find the most interesting, you may hear a number of different types of responses, okay? And what I'd like to ask you is, have you ever heard any of these before, okay? So take a look at some of the statements that I'm going to be showing on the screen here, and then ask yourself, have I ever heard any of these before? I don't understand business. Follow up with me in 240 days. I don't think I can do this. It sounds too hard. I can't do presentations. I don't think this is for me. I don't want to go to a presentation every week. I don't want to do home parties. I don't like selling. It sounds great. I'll get back to you. I can't afford to spend $3,000 right now. It's too good to be true. I don't know anyone who will buy these products. Jewelry is not consumable. I don't have time to travel. I'm too busy. I need to know everything about the products first. I would never buy jewelry online. I don't know a lot of people. I want to think about it. The products are too expensive. I don't like jewelry. I don't know that many rich people. I don't want to sign people up. I don't understand how I make money. It sounds like one of those pyramid things. I prefer to help people get healthy. People who do network marketing don't make money. And my favorite one is the follow-up to this one. Well, they can do it, but I can't. Okay? So I'm pretty sure that you've heard of either one or many of these statements. Okay? And if you've heard one or many of these statements, what it means is that somebody has made a certain decision in that moment. Okay? And the decision is probably one of these statements. Okay? And so what you need to understand is that there's all different types of people in the world, and all these different types of people in the world will have a certain opinion regarding whether they should make a decision or not. Okay? So what I have to say about these statements is that there's a commonality, there's a common thread that runs between each of these statements. Okay? And what this commonality is, that they are incorrect assumptions. Incorrect assumptions. That's all that these statements are. Okay? They're a bunch of incorrect assumptions. Now, some people on the call might be saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Some of those are facts. They are definitely not incorrect assumptions. They're facts. I can prove it to you. Well, before you prove to me that they're facts, I'm going to prove to you that they're incorrect assumptions. Okay? So I don't understand business is an assumption that you have to understand business to be successful in this company. Follow up with me in 240 days. That's an assumption that you can't get started sooner. I don't think I can do this is assuming that you don't think you can do this. It sounds too hard is assuming that it's hard. I can't do presentations is assuming that you have to do presentations. I don't think this is for me is assuming that it's not for you. I don't want to go to a presentation every week is assuming that you have to go to a presentation every week. I don't want to do home parties is an assumption that you have to do home parties. I don't like selling is an assumption that you have to sell. It sounds great. I'll get back to you is an assumption that I believe you. I can't afford to spend $3,000 right now is an assumption that you have to spend $3,000 right now. It's too good to be true is an assumption that it's really not that good. I don't know anyone who will buy these products is an assumption that you don't know anybody who's going to buy these products. Jewelry is not consumable is an assumption that jewelry is not consumable. I don't have time to travel is an assumption that you're going to have to travel a lot. I'm too busy is an assumption that you don't have time to do this business. I need to know everything about the products first is an assumption that you need to know everything about the products to do the business. I would never buy jewelry online is an assumption that other people may not want to buy jewelry online. I don't know a lot of people is an assumption that you have to know a lot of people. I want to think about it is an assumption that you need to think about it in order to make a decision. The products are too expensive is an assumption that we only have expensive products. I don't like jewelry is an assumption that you have to like jewelry to do the business. I don't know that many rich people is an assumption that you have to know rich people. I don't want to sign people up is an assumption you have to sign people up. I don't understand how I make money is an assumption that you have to understand how to make money to be successful. It sounds like one of those pyramid things is an assumption that we're in Egypt. I prefer to help people get healthy is an assumption that you can't do both. People who do network marketing don't make money is an assumption that people in network marketing don't make money. And they can't do it, but I can't is an assumption that you can't do it as well. Okay? So for all those people who have just told me, wait a minute, those are facts, well, I've just proven to you that each and every one of those statements is an incorrect assumption that you've created for a certain reason. Okay? And people create incorrect assumptions for many, many reasons. So let's take a look at why. Let's take a look at why somebody would create an incorrect assumption. Okay? Well, maybe they're a negative person. Have you ever met those types of people who are negative, who no matter what you say to them, they're going to prove to you how negative they can be, okay, and how many incorrect assumptions they could possibly create, because the more incorrect assumptions they create, the happier they are, okay? So they may just be a negative person. Maybe they don't believe in themselves, okay? There's many people in the world who don't believe in themselves, okay? They just might be one of those people. It may be an excuse. Maybe they don't want to be honest with you, so they give you an incorrect assumption because they believe that it's a good way of getting out of the situation. Who knows, okay? Maybe that's just how people are these days. Maybe people these days just like to give incorrect assumptions for whatever reason, okay? Maybe it's because of their family. Maybe their family doesn't necessarily understand business or understand how direct sales businesses work, and maybe, you know, some of their incorrect assumptions come from their family. Maybe, okay? There's also society. So maybe their incorrect assumptions are coming from something that they've learned from society. Who knows? Maybe they saw something on television, or they learned something from television, and they made an incorrect assumption. Maybe the government. You know, the government would love for you to have a job, so it's very clear that the government may give you a reason to have an incorrect assumption, okay? The economy, okay? When the economy is bad, people are scared. There's a lot of scams in the world, illegal type businesses, and so people are forced to make incorrect assumptions. Or maybe it's jealousy. There are some people out there who just don't want to see anybody but themselves successful. And in reality, they'll do everything they can to sabotage their own success as well. But, you know, there are jealous type of people as well, okay? So these are just a few of the many, many reasons why people will create an incorrect assumption. Now, what I found is that underneath all of these reasons, and the two major reasons why people create incorrect assumptions, is fear and ignorance. Fear and ignorance are behind all of these reasons why people create incorrect assumptions, okay? People have fear for many different reasons, okay? Fear of failure, fear of looking bad, fear of making wrong decisions, fear of making decisions. Fear tends to run a lot of people's lives, okay? And when fear is running your life, you can't really think clearly, and you can't really make a decision based on research, based on analysis. You only make a decision based on emotion, and that emotion is fear, okay? Now, ignorance as well, and the reason sometimes people are ignorant is because they just don't understand something. They don't have all the facts. They don't really get it yet. So without having all the facts and without getting it, they make an incorrect assumption, okay? So the biggest reason why people make incorrect assumptions is fear and ignorance. And here's a quote by Robert Kiyosaki, one of the top entrepreneurs out there in the world who promotes residual income and being an entrepreneur and having your own business. He says the main cause of poverty or financial struggle is fear and ignorance, not the economy or the government or the rich, okay? So Robert tends to agree with me, and I agree with Robert. So fear and ignorance are very, very big reasons why people make incorrect assumptions. Now, the GWT opportunity really is that good, okay? The only reason someone would not be interested in the GWT opportunity, and really only is one reason, the only reason someone would not be interested in the GWT opportunity is that they don't understand it. That's the only reason that I could possibly think of why somebody would not be interested in the GWT opportunity, because there's really no other reason why you would not want to be interested in it, okay? So which of the following are you not interested in, okay? Try to help me understand what is it about the opportunity that you're not interested in. Is it making more money? Is it having more time? Is it paying less taxes? Is it helping your family and friends? Is it getting paid to wear designer products? Is it driving a free luxury car? Is it making a difference in the world? growing as a human being, expanding your network, leaving a legacy for your children, free luxury vacations, working from home, being with loved ones, free shopping sprees, being surrounded by like-minded people, learning new things, being in a fun social environment, less stress, more fun, freedom, a better life. Please help me to understand, what is it about all of these things that I've just mentioned that's not interesting for you, okay? Because to me, maybe I'm making an incorrect assumption, but these sound like things that probably everybody in the world would want, okay? And maybe it's one thing, maybe it's a few things, maybe it's all of them. I would love to have all of these things, and I'm pretty sure a majority, if not all of the people on this call would love to have these things that you see in front of you. So, you know, the only reason why somebody would not want to have everything that you see in front of you is just because they don't understand it. They don't understand something about the opportunity. Maybe they made an incorrect assumption that they have to sell stuff, or maybe they made an incorrect assumption that they don't know how the business works, or a multitude of different things. All of the incorrect assumptions that I spoke about before, all of them may be a reason why somebody doesn't understand it, okay? But as I've just listed below, it does not make any sense at all that with all of these benefits that somebody would not be interested in the GWT opportunity. It really is that good. So let's review what we have learned so far, okay? And so far we've learned that the company can give you any lifestyle that you want. With all the things that I've just mentioned, you can choose a couple of them, you can choose all of them, you can design any life that you want. But you made some incorrect assumptions, okay, due to fear and ignorance, okay, because you don't understand it. So you're going to give up on having what you want. Now, does that make any sense whatsoever? The company can give you any lifestyle you want, but you made some incorrect assumptions due to fear and ignorance because you don't understand it, so you're going to give up on having what you want. Again, maybe I'm making some incorrect assumptions myself, but this does not make any sense at all, okay? This does not make any sense at all, okay, which is what I've realized that many people do, okay? However, they may not be realizing that they're making incorrect assumptions due to fear and ignorance, and you know, they may not understand that they don't understand it yet, okay? So they are giving up on having what they want because of all these things. So what we need to do, okay, is we need to remove all of the incorrect assumptions, okay? Whatever incorrect assumptions they have, we need to figure out what they are by asking questions. And after asking questions, we can understand what those incorrect assumptions are, because sometimes people make incorrect assumptions and they won't tell you that it's an incorrect assumption. So what do you have to do? You have to ask them. You have to say, so what concerns do you have? What is it that you liked about it? Any questions? Okay, you have to make sure that you get all of those incorrect assumptions out, because if somebody is thinking to themselves, well, you know, I don't really want to sell products, but they don't, which is an incorrect assumption, okay, because they've just assumed that they have to sell products. But in reality, if they don't want to, there's many options where you don't have to, but they may not tell you that, okay? They've just created it, and they won't tell you. So you have to dig, and you have to dig, and you got to figure out what kind of assumption have they made that's not correct. And then you need to answer it, and you need to correct it so that they understand that they've just made an incorrect assumption and it's not true. Once you've done that, what that will do is that will kill the fear and that will kill the ignorance, okay? Once they understand that their incorrect assumption is actually not correct, then the fear of, for example, having to sell products won't be there anymore, okay? They're not going to be scared of having to know how to sell or having to understand the products or going out there and selling stuff, because you've just corrected the assumption, so the fear is gone. and the fear is gone because the ignorance is gone, okay? Because they didn't understand something before, you corrected them, now they understand it, so the fear is gone and the ignorance is gone, and once the fear and ignorance is gone, well, guess what? Now they understand it, okay? So they went from non-understanding to understanding by you correcting their assumptions, removing the fear and ignorance. Now they understand it, and once they understand it, well, guess what? Well, now we can go back to a conversation about what's possible, about how to help them have what they want. Because that's why we're here. We're here to help people to have what they want. That's what the opportunity's for. That's why the company was created. That's why the compensation plan is here. That's why all of these tools have been created in order to help people to have what they want. But there's something that gets in the way of that. There's something that gets in the way of the company being able to give people any lifestyle they want and people understanding that they can actually have what they want. And what gets in the way of that is exactly what you see in your screen. It's incorrect assumptions, it's fear and ignorance, and it's not understanding it, okay? So once you remove those things, people can go back to having what they want, and we're going to give it a big yes, because that's what we want. We want everybody in the world to have as much of a great life as they can, to have a great lifestyle, and how they do that is by us to help them, okay? Because if you look at our title is a luxury consultant. And a consultant, if you look at some of the most successful, well-known consultants in the world, what they really do really well is they ask questions and they dig, because they want to find out what is in the way of somebody seeing the value and the benefit of what they have, okay? We understand the value and the benefit of the GWG opportunity. We understand that. But other people, they may not understand that, and there's something in the way. There's something that we got to get rid of so that they can see what we can see. And that's what consultants do, okay? Consultants remove all of the fog that's in the way of somebody seeing what they want somebody to see, okay? And that's what we do as luxury consultants, is we remove whatever is in the way of somebody seeing how great this opportunity is. And how we do that is we ask them questions, we understand what their incorrect assumptions are, we remove the fear and ignorance, we help them to understand how it actually works, and then that removes all the fog, and then we can go on and have a conversation about what kind of a lifestyle they would want to have, okay? But it's kind of pointless to talk to somebody about what kind of life they would want to have if they have all these incorrect assumptions and they don't really believe that, you know, they could do it or that it's possible for them. So we got to remove that in order to have a conversation with people about how, okay? So I will attempt to address all of these incorrect assumptions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody on this call, I am going to attempt to address all of these incorrect assumptions. I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to show on your screen exactly what you can say to somebody to correct them on all of these incorrect assumptions. Isn't that exciting? Aren't you guys excited to be able to have the answer for everybody's incorrect assumption, to be able to help them, to be able to show them, you know, what the answer is for all of their assumptions? That's exactly what we're going to do, okay? So before we get to that, we're going to go to the next slide, and oh no, look at the time. Oh my God, look at the time. Isn't that a beautiful watch, by the way? Oh no, look at the time. We're out of time, actually. Oh my God, what are we going to do? But isn't that a beautiful watch? Oh my God, look at that. It's got diamonds, it's got gold. Oh, but we're out of time. What do we do? Well, ladies and gentlemen, because it's Father's Day, I know that a lot of you want to spend time with your family, and we would not have had the time to get through all of the incorrect assumptions today. So, ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of helping people to make the right decision will be taking place next Sunday, June the 24th, okay? Next Sunday night, I'm going to be doing part 2 of helping people to make the right decision. I'm going to be going through every single one of those incorrect assumptions that you just saw on the previous screen. We're going to go one by one. It's going to be very powerful. And what I recommend is that every person who you've shown the opportunity to, who you've heard one of those incorrect assumptions from, or somebody who's had an incorrect assumption, get them on next week's call. It's going to be a call for you. It's going to be a call for your guests. I want everybody in the world on that call because I'm going to be clearing up every single incorrect assumption that every person in your life has had. And you want to make sure that they're on that call so that they understand that they have made an incorrect assumption, that that's not how it is, and the truth about what our opportunity is and how it can help them. And before we go on to the news and announcements, I just want to look at the time for another couple of seconds. Isn't that a beautiful watch? I mean, that's like 110 grams of 19-karat rose gold and over 10 to 20 carats of diamonds. I mean, that's like that's like one of the top, masterpieces of time in the world. I mean, okay, all right. Enough of the watch. Enough of the watch. It's a beautiful. So because it's Father's Day, I wanted to make it quick. I wanted to make it fun. I wanted to give you some valuable information that you're going to be able to take with you, that you're going to be able to learn from. This has been recorded. You're going to be able to watch it over and over again. And, it's going to be a lot of fun next week. And like I said, you want to be able to have as many people as possible to be able to be on that call next week, because I'm going to be going through all of the incorrect assumptions that I spoke about earlier so that you can make a difference for yourself, make a difference for others, and help as many people to understand how great of an opportunity global wealth trade is. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being on the call. I know that you guys have, some time that you want to spend with your family, so please do that. Have a happy Father's Day to all the GWT dads, to all the dads all around the world. Have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next week.